how to qualify with soft questions as opposed to sharp angle, in your face, put the customer on edge, make them buy whether they need it or not. Have I got your attention? I really don't like that, and I'm guessing because you're watching this, you probably don't either. I've been taught, I don't use it anymore as you'll tell here in a moment, that the way you made a sale was you talked somebody into something that they didn't need or want. And there is an old adage, the ABCs of closing, or the ABCs of selling, always be closing. I disagree with that completely. Now, fundamentally, do I think you shouldn't be moving towards a sale? Absolutely. That is what we're paid to do. That's what we should do. That's actually what your clients want you to do. However, how you do it is really important. And how you do it to set you apart from others and in a way that people respect and trust you is around asking questions. And I believe very strongly that the most important and powerful and revealing questions are open-ended. Who, what, why, when, where, how. These are questions that if used strategically and put into sentences and presented to a customer or a client to either find out what they want or to gain more information from an existing relationship to help you take it to the next level, will provide you a wealth of information. Here's some examples. The hard question, this is what I'm suggesting don't do, is that aggressive in your face, do you know you need this product? How many do you want? When was the last time you ordered? Do you understand what this will do for your business? Do you understand how much better off you'll be because of this? Well, not only are these pretty much closed-ended questions, they're almost inciting the person to either react strongly, but generally what happens when salespeople use these type of questions, it's to overwhelm the person into buying. It's to, in many cases, and you see this, you know, there are programs and trainers that it's like a machine gun of questioning. It's just to confuse and to somewhat get the customer almost dazed, that they just keep nodding and agreeing and go, okay, sure. And I think, honestly, often some people will buy things just because they want to get the salesperson out of their face for no other reason than if it costs me $100 to get rid of you, okay, fine, here's the $100 now, go away. So I'm not talking about that. And those are very basic rudimentary examples. You can probably come up with some that are within your industry or you've heard that are similar, but really kind of in your face. The other that I suggest is where it's an invitation. It's, could you please tell me more about your situation or the outcome you're seeking? What are the outcomes that you would like to have if you purchase our product, buy our service, work with our firm, right? There's an example. What would be the kind of relationship and service level that you would expect from me or from my colleagues if you select us to be your provider? What would be different from your current provider, if you were to go with us, that would inspire or motivate you to consider using us and our firm? Right, so these are very much contrasting questions, but they're invitations, and you could tell by the way I was asking the question, my body language, my voice, even my gestures, my hand gestures and my facial expressions supported them in a positive way. They weren't intense, they weren't angular and directive, they were more invitational and relaxed. And I'll give you a quick example. It was literally just yesterday. I was doing a webinar with a client, and we were going through this very topic, and we were doing a review, and I was asking the team, have you applied this? And if you have, what's been different? And one of the women in the session said, you know, I've intentionally, in our last client meeting, it was a presentation with for a fairly substantial project, said, I made a point at a strategic juncture in the meeting to ask one of the key people, the senior decision maker, or if you will, the economic buyer, open-ended questions. And she said what was really interesting, and it was neat because her body language changed because she was mirroring what happened in the room, and this happens all the time. When you ask questions that allow people to connect, to be real, to open up, that's what they will often do. They just tell you what's on their mind. And she said, and her term was, this gentleman, he got quite verbose. And it wasn't like, oh man, we couldn't shut the guy up. It was, he started becoming real. He gave us all kinds of good information that then led us, and here's the key, that what came out of this session that I was in with my clients, that we can leverage. If you stop talking, ask better questions, listen, reframe, rephrase to make sure you understood it, and the client agrees, you're going to have somebody that is now not only going to want to do business with you, they're probably going to want to do more business with you, because what we don't find often enough, and this is this tactics-based, hard questions, talk them into a corner basically, talk at them till they give in and then, get the PO or get the check, as it were. No, I believe that trust is based on respect. Respect is earned based on how you behave, act, and that comes to a great extent on the questions you ask. And that really, my friends, is communication. Are you good? Are you a good communicator? Can you build trust and rapport by asking questions that people are willing to open, provide you with valuable information? And then are you able to use that, because again, we're talking about this as being part of the sale, to then lead them to the point and make a recommendation for, based on what you've uncovered or discovered, as I like to call it, will allow you to make a recommendation that is of high value to them. While in the process, you're still building a relationship. There's a couple of layers to this, obviously. This is a very important one. I will continue to go deeper in this in the video series, but for this, if you get away from asking hard, angular questions to open-ended, inviting questions, people will not only trust you, you'll gain more information, and you'll be able to sell more and really hit the target with what you're recommending.